Hello, my name is Nicholas Mead, and this is my case discussion for Economics 551 for the Apple and the music industry. So the industry analysis for the physical era, bargaining power of suppliers was rated high because major record labels meant that they could dictate terms, impacting the profit margins of retailers and smaller labels, and why this limited the number of suppliers with control over popular artists and the music categories that they performed in. The bargaining power of buyers was rated moderate because customers have limited choices to choose from and have to pay prices set by retailers and the labels. Physical CDs kind of required to be bought in a physical location, reducing the competitive advantage of an online platform and what that would the competition that that would create. The threat of new entrants was low because of the high barriers to entry, and that helped the few companies that were in this industry profit more. The large and initial investments required for this type of productions kind of decreased that and the marketing of those products. The threat of substitutes was low because the low number of alternatives to CDs allowed for fewer firms to kind of control that industry and increase their profits over time. Major substitutes like vinyls were harder to produce and not as popular because they were not mass produced. The industry rivalry was rated high because large competition between a small number of firms again fueled marketing and higher costs, and that competition to get the most popular artists was really strong. So the industry analysis for the downloaded music, the bargaining power of suppliers was reduced because artists gain more locations to reach listeners on an online platform, and digital platforms took power away from traditional labels. Bargaining power of buyers was increased because customers can compare prices and switch services relatively easy. Buyers' power increased, causing easier access to digital downloads and streaming services. So threat of new entrants was also increased because lower costs to enter the music market reduced profits for a number of firms. And the digital distribution is less of an investment compared to a CD. The threat of substitutes. So customers can get free music online. That is a threat to a company's profit. If they're paying to put out a service into the world and the same service is available for free right down the road or a few clicks away, that's a major threat to a company's profits. Internet gave access to free music, and that decreased value of a streaming service. And the industry rivalry is increased because the shift to customers using digital platforms increased competition for easy entry into a market. And it also increased rivalry from increased number of firms entering the market. So Apple's strategy was by creating their ecosystem. So this is one of their business models. They utilize their iPod and iPhone to create a seamless music experience that creates kind of like from a user perspective, you could just like integrate your iPod and iPhone and they're the same thing. A platform innovation is it developed iTunes, creating a user-friendly digital music platform, making a legal platform to access music, and adaptation to the market shifts. So it evolved from iTunes to Apple Music and enhanced processes from iTunes. And the threats and opportunities, some threats is rising competition, facing strong competition from dedicated streaming services like Spotify was a big threat, and consumer preferences. So adapting to customers from streaming over owning music. Also, a threat is how Spotify has ads. That was something that Apple Music and iTunes had to learn from their customers what their preferences were. And the opportunities are, of course, global expansion, pushing Apple Music to new markets. That is it is not yet integrated in is a global opportunity. And that is about it. Thank you for listening.